Hello. So I haven't been live for a very long time. Sorry about the fog. Um, uh, so we're gonna go live today to talk about why your child isn't graduating from speech therapy, or just in general why children take so long to graduate from therapy in general, right? So one of the things that I want to talk about as we get more people coming in. So if you're coming in, please say hi. Tell me where you're from. I haven't been live for a very long time, and most probably we're gonna start doing monthly live calls on YouTube um, and Facebook, just as a added benefit. We don't really want to be on Facebook that much. So the first reason is the goals. So a lot of times I see a lot of veteran moms, right? They have a lot of goals going on. When I talk to some of these moms, they might have like a huge folder of of goals. So these goals, I don't know where these moms find the time to look into what kind of therapy goals they want. But like they're like follow 2-step, 3-step, 4-step instructions. Answer whatever questions. I want them to say I don't know or call mommy. Whatever it is. There's a bunch of goals that are going on in the background. Okay, and those goals are so isolated that it's very difficult for you to get any type of result um, as a whole. So therefore, you're gonna be like in therapy for a very long time because you're trying to do one like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way, like 26 goals, right? From top to bottom, trying to go symptom by symptom. And if you've been on Agents of Speech any time already, if you've been on our community, which is awesome, is like 11,000 people now. So you can check out the link below or in the title or whatever, school.com/AOS. Um, you will know that we try not to entertain when parents ask, oh, can you teach us this, that, whatever. Obviously, there are loads of things out there where you search, oh, how do I teach pronouns? How do I teach I, you, them, her, him, her, whatever, right? So all these things are good when you're inside of therapy, right? Because then the therapist will know how to change that and generalize that to other goals. And it only comes out during like when the child really needs it. But if you're doing home therapy, right, you might be shooting yourself in the foot when you are trying to deal with these, like create things, right? Like for instance, there was this mom who reached out to me. She was in our previous group coaching, and she was like, oh, I want to teach my son how to call out mama, right? When I'm not in the room, meaning the mom isn't in the room. So she's been trying this and that, modeling, whatever. And then I told her, look, I can teach you. And I taught her what to do, and it worked. So what I told her was that, all you need to do is just to record your voice on a whatever voice recorder, like play it out loud remotely, and then come in the room, right? You do this a few times, child's gonna know, oh, so when something goes mommy like that, mom will appear, and therefore after a few trials it worked, right? Obviously we can do that, and and the Agents of Speech or any type of therapist out there can help you go through the 1, 2, 3 goals, that the mini goals that you have, um, and teach them, right? It's just a matter of knowing what prompt, what cue, and understanding child, right? But how long are you gonna be like that? Like then you have to teach daddy, then you have to teach like whatever, then you have to teach like hide and seek, and then you call mommy. Like the goals go on forever, right? So at the end of the day, right, you have to tackle the most useful goals that are the most generalizable, if that's a word, and you go from there. Okay, and I see more people coming in now, so like just say hi, and tell me where you're watching from. All right. So these lives we don't do much anymore, and I just sporadically decided to start a live, by the way. Um, and the reason why is because we're gonna revive the weekly Q&As, but inside of our community, so it's more private. And we can control who comes in, who comes not. So this YouTube like live stuff or like Facebook live stuff. Anyone can watch it, anyone can whatever. But we only want parents who are committed to watch it, because there's no point in us answering questions that are like very similar all the time, right? So do me a favor. We're gonna restart that probably this week or the next week, probably next week. And go to www.school.com/AOS, join there, and then within our calendar we will have a set time, 1 hour, where I will sit down and answer everyone's questions. And this is for free. Yeah, everything's for free. So just go there and check it out. All right. The second reason I'm going to keep on going about why children don't graduate. The first reason was that the goals are too granular and they don't target multiple things in one go. Right. So usually what we do is like we don't try to teach everything one by one, but we teach a large concept and we hope that the child understands, because most of the time when children are delayed or disordered, they have a problem with a meta-linguistic skill. It's a lack of a better word that's non-jargony. I would say that like most of the time they don't know that what the therapists say, the power of the voice, right? They also don't know how they're supposed to use words to form sentences, right? So on and so forth. Or like they don't know how to answer questions. They don't understand game rules. They don't understand why they should look at other people's faces or look at their eyes or understand like nonverbal cues and so on. So we do big things. So, for instance, teaching them how to play with a game where someone else's responses will actually hinder or improve their chances of winning. And the thing that the winning should be something that they care about and they like, right? So the second reason why children don't really graduate from therapy is because like this, it's really hard to catch up. And it's just like everything in life, you don't know what is enough, especially for the parent side, for the mom side, especially. So I try to say this with a lot of love, but a lot of the times what I see is like the mother wants more, still little, not enough. What should I do? Especially in Asia, just one parent came back to me after a year and a half, nearly 2 years. Child finally starts to imitate sounds, and he's been stuck there forever. Now I'm not going to say that whose fault it is. Obviously, the child has a lot of things that I may not be able to see over the internet, right? So at the end of the day, right, you have to think about what is enough, what's functional, what's good for them, and whether if you want to push further or not, right? And a lot of parents don't want to stop. As a matter of fact, some children who I have dismissed, that's not the right word, discharged, they would come back and say, can you just boost and like have a chat with my child? I would pay the same amount of money, if not more, for me to do it, because I already have a very good relationship with the kid. And like I would hang out with all of my students for free. They're really cool people. But that would be not fair. So there are other people in the world that require therapy, and if I give it to someone who has already been like technically discharged and already caught up, it would be unfair. So a lot of times children don't graduate is because moms in particular don't think that it's already enough, and that's fair. So that's why a lot of times the work should be at home as well, so that oh, this is like around time. And plus, you only have your child and other typical developing children who are your friend's child or your relative's child to compare, and it makes you feel that, oh no, they're still not as talkative or not as caught up. I don't know if that's a good wording for it, but for us, because we compare with a lot of children who are already delayed, so a lot of times I would say this is already good enough. We can have him try his best at school. All right. Yeah. So that's the second reason. The third reason is that like a lot of the times, I would say, children don't graduate is because the work just stops at the clinic. I don't know how many clients before. I mean, like they don't even talk at home, but they do the bulk of the talking at the clinic with the therapist. Not only with me, but like with other therapists as well. So what does that mean? So they only get practice for that 1 hour during that in a week with the therapist, and they don't get any other type of practice whatsoever. So we're trying to change that, and that's why we're doing these like videos online just to teach parents, and push them to know that it's okay, it's cool that you bring them to me. And I was having this conversation with a mentor of mine, and he was saying, like, because all our stuff now is like online, I don't even see physical clients anymore. Oh, that's far too bright. Don't see any other people physically anymore. And obviously, there are people online and offline that say stuff about this, like, oh, Ming doesn't know his stuff anymore because he's not seeing clients in the physical space. Some people are saying like, oh, Ming, how can you only do things online? You must still have a clinic, right? And I don't. And as much as I would love to have everyone have a positive regard to me, and to say that I don't care about what people think about me would be a lie, right? But what I'm trying to get at is that my mentor was saying how, in the physical space, I can be a lot more assertive, and I understand the value that I bring a lot more than in the online space. And whilst our parent coaching programs were having a lot of success, I think it's one of the best things I've ever seen online. Like, not only just for therapy, right? If you've done any type of online course, right? Would you see like people sending videos and asking questions every day? So the answer is probably not. I mean, it's a rhetorical question. So it's providing results, right? And it's hard because now the results are in the hands of the parent instead of us, like actually doing the work. If the parents like have any objections in the real life, I would say, look, you come in, sit down, and see how we're working. Your child is saying this and not saying this. He can do this and he cannot do this. You say that he can do this. Well, I'll show you, and then the parents will say, oh, he can't. He can do it at home. Well, take a video, right? I can say that with a lot of conviction in the physical space, but in on online, it's very difficult because now it's up to the parents themselves, yourself, right, to go check it out, go do the work, right? Um, take care of all the things that we do, provide prompts fast enough, give them rewards, give them activities, right? And we can do as much as we can, giving feedback, giving instructions, whatever. But it's kind of like a hammer and a nail situation, to make a hole. Whereas before we were the drill, right? And I would say that we were a chisel before, and we would just make a dent in the wood ourselves, right? But now it's like a hammer hitting a nail, the nail hitting the wood. That's a saying in Chinese, by the way. So it's kind of like that right now, and I'm not entirely sure how to convince more parents to do this right now. So that's why we're bringing back the weekly Q&As, right? A lot of parents are saying, "Oh, therapy doesn't work. Clinic is, the therapist is crap, yada yada." Yeah, of course there are bad actors, bad apples in any industry, but I think that rather than focusing on what's bad, we can focus on what we can do, what you can do at home, immediately. So we don't want to, and that's why all the things, all the courses inside our community are free. So if you go in school.com/AOS, you can go check it out, right? And every week I will go live Q&A with whoever joins. We're going to have a private Google Meet. We're not using Zoom. We're using Google Meet. You go there, ask us questions. Um, we can have a whole hour to ourselves, and obviously first come first serve. Uh, and I'm committed to do this because now agents of speech, we have coaches to fulfill a lot of the work that I had to do before. So therefore there's more time for me to go educate and answer questions, so to speak, right? So yeah, those are the three reasons I see why children don't really graduate from therapy. It's to do with a lot of things, like the definition, like what goal are you setting, right? Where do you think is enough? And then how do you use those goals to achieve um, what you want? Because like a lot of times the work doesn't only stay in the clinic, it needs to be at home as well, right? So that's all. And if you're still here, that's great. Just say hi, type some questions here. But most of the time, if you have any questions, just go to school.com/AOS. Like our community has like 11,000 people inside, um, and ask there. So, you know, not going to do any more of these like lives on YouTube or whatever. At most, it would be like once a month. I'm still debating over it. But at this point in time, I do believe that the most help I can be of is when you join our community. So at least when I tell you, check out this resource, watch this course, look at this post, look at what this other parent was doing, you will know, you'll have a lot more context rather than me trying to answer like all the questions that we have on YouTube that or Facebook that keeps on recurring, right? So that's all for today. It's just a quick live. I don't really enjoy doing lives anymore. Um, and yeah, that's it. The last update I want to tell you is that the community that we have right now is growing so fast um, that a lot of things are underutilized. So we're creating a map so that parents would like can make friends within their local community, and at least have someone to ask when something happens, right? So we're gonna do that. The second update is obviously the weekly Q&As that we're gonna do there. The recordings will be distributed inside the community as well, so be sure to join that. Um, and the last thing is we are making a new paid coaching program. This is how we make money at Agents of Speech, just to be super transparent with you. All the information is free. All the Q&As that I do are free other than your time, most probably. If you do need like some one-on-one time, we could figure something out that you can like pay a little money and then we can have a chat. But the bulk of how we do our business is through parent coaching. And we're creating a new program for children who have sentences already, but but the child doesn't speak cohesively in like 2 to 3 sentences at one time, right? So we are still thinking of a name for that. I posted the other day on the community. We already have like 60 something people who are interested and on the wait list. Is everyone going to be able to join? Most probably not, because we only have 3 coaches. Number one. Number two is like the pricing is going to be a little bit more on the expensive side, where not everyone can join. And number 3 is that this kind of coaching course requires a lot of time on your end and our end. So we're basically like giving you what we got when we were like learning as a therapist, right? But except for you having like 20 clients, you only have one, which is your child, right? So join the community, see what's going on, and when the syllabus comes out in I think the next 2 weeks, you'll see whether if it's a good fit for a child. But go there and sign up for the wait list. And then this new Sentence and Beyond program, don't have a name for it. If you have a name, let me know. That will be in October. And the 4th update I have for you is our 11th group group for the Nonverbal program. That's also a paid coaching program, will be out at the end of this this week. You can start applying for that. So yeah, to come to think about it, that's like the 11th group that we've been doing for like nonverbal children, and then plus the 4 groups that we did for the single word children. Like add it all together, it's like 15 to 16 groups that we've done over the internet already. That's I remember back in the day, it's like no one's gonna join any online stuff. I think the pandemic really helped the concept of online courses. So thankful and grateful for that. Just saying hi to Vin here from Melbourne. No problem. I was actually in Melbourne last November. Pretty cool there, I would say. I really like the fact that the trams are free in the center, although it's pretty walkable already. So I don't really see a point, other than for like for elderly or like everyday commute. H says hi H. So yeah, those are the updates, and more you will see more of me. We'll try to increase our number of videos, and we're going to double down on YouTube, where we're going to create more videos. And I'm going to create polls. Using the community function of YouTube. I'm probably going to shy away from using Facebook and Instagram too much. We're just still going to upload videos there because it's free. Who cares? But my main audience, my main guys and gals, 80% of gals, are on YouTube. You guys want to learn. You guys are searching. You guys are commenting, liking, engaging, joining our community. 90% of people in the community came from YouTube. Think about how crazy that is. So we're doubling down on that, hoping that we can provide even more value to you, and just act as a reminder every time you see us as a video. You might hear us repeating the same things over and over again, especially me. But stuff that I say works, man. Like works for us. Don't know if it works for you. Just a caveat. So that's all I wanted to update you guys on. So can't wait to start talking to you weekly on a Q&A inside the school community. Go to www.school.com/AOS. Link is just there. Click it. Go there, check it out, and we'll talk there. All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.